All right, we got some breaking news from our very own Matt Zinitz. Remember Dylan Edwards had a
Yeah,
heck of a freshman season from Kansas, was committed to Notre Dame or Kansas State or both.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Maybe
It,
both, though.
it ends up at Colorado. Well, Drew, he's in the portal. And you think about the year that he had, the former four-star recruit, top 247 running back. Pretty interesting, and I guess we'll just jump right into this one. But Drew, your reaction to Dylan Edwards, and remember, this is on the heels of Cormani McLean. There's been, I don't want to say a mass exodus, but there's been a handful of players that have left the Colorado program recently as well. Similar to what we were talking about earlier, I haven't had a ton of time to dig in on this specific Colorado situation and maybe what's happening there, who's coming in, who's going out, what was expected, what wasn't expected. This is the one that seems like a big surprise, Drew. Let's just call it what it is. I did not expect this today.
What I'm trying to pull up the stats because, like you noted, I was traveling on Sunday. I've been engulfed in the 2026 rankings. So I'm shooting from the hip here. But I think the past two cycles, so 2023 and 2024, Colorado has signed, I want to say it's about like 31 high schoolers and junior college prospects. And I think Dylan Edwards would be the 10th player that has decided to leave. To me, Cooper, like, what is going on there? Like, that is not a good sign. And I get it. Prime wants to be in the transfer portal and all that stuff, but how are you building a program when it's a continuous revolving door?
And our friend Michael reminded us in the chat, Dallin Hayden did just commit to Colorado, right? One of the best running backs on the market coming over from Ohio State. So you wonder how that kind of plays into it a little bit. I don't know, man. This just seems like they came out prime time, guns blazing, different way of building a roster. The most ever transfers taken in his first year in college football history. How many players did they take in high school this past year, Drew? 7?
Yeah, one of them's already in the portal. All right,
So
so go back to Colorado's 2023 class, right? I mean, I guess Adam Hopkins entered the portal, correct?
correct.
So that would be three of their top four high school signees in 2023 when they finished 30th are gone. Is Omarion Miller in the portal yet?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I can't keep track. I can't.
Yeah, we need the portal tracker, but yeah, no, it's interesting. So let's talk about it. Potential fits for Dylan Edwards. Does one immediately come to mind? I know for me, we always talked about, all right, he's from Kansas.
Oh,
Man, the idea of Dylan Edwards and Avery Johnson teaming up, that's got to get you pretty fired up.
yeah, I love what Kansas State's too deep. I would think that's certainly a place to look. He's kind of a plug and play guy, right? I mean, he's a gadget back that can catch the ball out of the backfield. Like, I think anyone in the country could use him. He's not going to be your every down starter in terms of the sense of like he's getting 25 carries a game, but he can provide some versatility. You know, you think about him. Hey, what about like Florida State's offense? You know, they like to throw the ball to the running backs, get it to them in space. I don't know. Kansas State, that is certainly a fun one. And then think about the core of that offense. You said it. Avery Johnson. They got DJ Giddens, the running back, big pounder. J.C. Brown, true sophomore wide receiver. I think a lot of people are not familiar with that name. They will be after this upcoming season. Yeah, Kansas State. That one excites me.
I think if Damian Martinez ends up at Miami, we're in total like tinfoil hat mode right now. But you're looking at the musical chairs, right? I think Kansas State is the ideal fit, right? I think Notre Dame, Edwards was committed there. I don't know. They got a lot of talent in that backfield. Jeremiah Love is certainly somebody that's we've seen play running back. He's played a little bit of receiver in the spring. But the team that kind of jumps out to me that's been looking for a back, and they just picked up Henry Parrish, is Ole Miss. And you wonder how many of these backs they would take. But I think Lane Kiffin's one of those guys. Like, just give me the toys, and we'll figure it out. Um, Dylan Edwards, very specific type of player comparison for me, but it kind of feels like Jerry on Ely a little bit. If you remember Jerry on Ely, which was a guy that they utilized a lot of different ways. So, Drew, you and I talked about this on the phone yesterday with Miami and kind of what they're doing, and they're going all in right now. I feel that way with Ole Miss. I feel like it's going to be one of those teams for Dylan Edwards, if not Kansas State. But I would expect. I mean, that's just me, but I'd fully expect Ole Miss to be in the market there for Dylan Edwards.
What about like USC?
Can't count them out either. You know, the funny thing about them is like, man, they got a plethora of backs.
But that again, he's not like he's kind of a change of pace in a good way, right?
He's different in the fact that here's what I like about Edwards. I think you can plug and play instantly, and I think a lot of people are looking at him from the fact of all right, throw the running back room out the window. Immediately, we get value in the return game. He's different there. He is a difference maker there. I thought he was one of the best return men, punt, kickoff that we have seen in the last couple of years. Like that's a specialty for him. And then he's a big play waiting to happen. I think the other thing about him that you like is you can use him a lot of different ways. You can move him around, you can put him in motion, you can put him on fly sweeps, you can use him as a receiver. There's some eye candy to him as well, right? He can affect the game without getting touches. Like this guy has more value than what's just perceived. So,
Is
I
he
mean,
is he plus one win wherever he goes?
so what? Like that you're talking about that much of a difference?
Well, impact. I mean, he returns a kick in a game.
For
Returns.
sure. Yeah, I mean, I think
I think
that's a
that's
good way of looking at it.
yeah, that's how you got to look through it. Here's the other thing, right? So now you said musical chairs with these running backs. This feels like NFL free agency. Like this is it. We are here. These guys are bouncing around. It's so easy for running backs to plug and play anywhere. And how many of these big names have gone on the move? Quinshon Judkins, Henry Parrish going back and forth, Allen Hayden now, Dylan Edwards, Damian Martinez. Like this is the one position where you can just go wherever you want. Coop, and I think if I was consulting like a high profile running back, I would tell them to try to play like 3 different schools in 4 years. Like, why would you not want to do that? You think about the money in the NFL side of things, right? Contracts at an all time low. Now you can just transfer wherever you want. You can just, it could be an open bidding season every single year, every offseason. How much are you going to pay me?
There's definitely some financial upside to it for sure. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be recommending that, but I get the notion of what you're saying, right? Just in terms of the lifespan of a running back, in terms of what you should be able to collect and what you should be able to demand at this level right now. It seems like those guys are incredibly valued. So we'll see what happens with Dylan Edwards. We'll keep an eye on what's happening with Colorado.